Hello and welcome to Actually Speechless. Today's video will be Glasswork Super Style Combos. Let's get into this video. This video is going to be another edit style combo video. Today's edit style will be the last super style for Chapter 5 Season 1's Battle Pass, which will be the Glasswork, this one right here, as you can see. And this video was suggested by Randy Markham. Thank you very much for the video suggestion. And they said, can you do combos for each of the super styles, like Expressionist, Glasswork, not each skin. So similar to the other two videos, I've made two combos for each skin for the Glasswork super style or super level style. So yeah, let's get into the first one. The first skin is Hope, and the actual design I'm using for Hope is the Rebel Runaway Hope, hat off, glasses on, and then the super level Glasswork Hope is selected. The backbling for the first combo is this one here, which is Gains, part of the To the Moon set introduced in Chapter 2 Season 6. Works very nicely with the orange. As you can see, it's kind of like a mosaic with like different colours on the actual skin itself. At the edit style, I guess you can see, obviously you can see red, you can see orange, see a bit yellow, green, blue, a lot of different colours. But this combo, I decided to go for an orange themed combo. Pickaxe is a Spellwork Scimitar, part of the Doctor Strange set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 2. And this is Doctor Strange's pickaxe from that season. He was in the Battle Pass. Glad I wasn't too sure what to use, so I decided to go with the Astro World Cyclone, part of the Travis Scott set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 2. Using this mainly for the red and the orange, is a bit of blue and a little bit of yellow as well. Very nice glide in my opinion, one of my favourite Icon Series ones I own. Contrail is the Art of Revenge, part of the Jonesy's Revenge set, introduced in Chapter 5, Season 1's Battle Pass. And his Vengeance Jonesy's contrail from the season. Using it, it's got a lot of different colours in the contrast. You can see, got red, yellow, orange, blue, a little bit of purple as well. Just mainly use it for all the different colours. The first weapon wrap is this one right here, which is Triangles, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 2, and animate and reactive weapon wrap. This was a weapon wrap that got given for free in Chapter 2, Season 2, I think for maybe extended maintenance or for some sort of reason, like maybe challenge to a bugging out. I'm pretty sure it's extended maintenance, but either way, if you're around in Chapter 2, Season 2, and you logged in by a certain point, you would have got given this weapon wrap. Works very nicely for the orange, and I guess there's a little bit of yellow as well on the weapon wrap. Let's move on to the next combo. And this is the second combo for the Hope skin. For this one, I decided to keep the same style, which is just a Rebel Runaway Hope. Hat is off and glasses is on once again, and the super level is Glasswork Hope. Back bling for this one is a World Die. I tried to use a lot of different, three different colours from the actual edit style. As you can see here, I've used the design colour 1 red. I use colour 2 orange, and then the colour 3 is fuchsia, basically purple. And as you see, it goes nicely. But you can use any of them, so you could say use red, orange, purple, what I'm using, or you could use like a little bit of like green, blue, orange, red. You just use whatever colour you like with this back bling that's on the actual edit style. You can use. That's why the glass works pretty cool, and this back bling does work very nicely with it, in my opinion. Pickaxe is a Real, which is part of the J Balvin set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 7. And this is J Balvin's pickaxe, using it for all the different colours. It has blue, it has purple, has a bit yellow and green as well. Goes very nicely with the Glasswork edit style. The weapon wrap for this combo is this one right here, which is the Sunprint, part of the Sun Soldiers set, introduced in Chapter 1, Season 8. Using it for the orange and the green mainly, and this weapon wrap works pretty nicely for those two colours. And the main problem, or the main issue I had with making combos for the Glasswork was definitely the weapon wrap, in my opinion. I didn't have many good weapon wraps to go with it. For this combo, I found this works nicely for the orange and the green. Let's move on to the next combo, down the next skin, which is Montague. And for this one, I decided to use the Montague's edit style, Brilliant Cut Montague, with the super level style Glasswork Montague. I really do like the Brilliant Cut Montague edit style. It looks pretty cool with this super level as well. All the super levels, to be fair. The back bling for this combo is this one here, which is a Crystal Llama, part of the Getaway Gang set, introduced in Chapter 1, Season 8. And you got this for getting challenges in the Getaway game mode. And for this one, you can either use the Ruby for the red, or you can also use the Emerald for the green. But I decided to use the red because the red and the orange on the Glasswork edit style seems to be more prominent. As you can see here, it changes to it. I find the red and orange the most prominent colours when it comes to the actual edit style. And for this combo, I decided to go for the red. Pickaxe is the Omni Sword, part of the Qatar Tech set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 2's Battle Pass. The design for mine is top blade Hyper Strike, guard ceremonial, bottom blade Hyper Strike. And then the pickaxe type is dual wield. You can use single wield obviously in game using emote to switch in between, obviously with the actual design. As I always mention, when I do use the Omni Sword, use whichever design you like most. The colour I'm using is this one right here, which is the Crimson Quartz for the red, basically dark red theme. I want to do like this colour. And then hand style for me is just Omni Sword. And the sound I always like to use is Jagged Power. So obviously use whichever one you like the most, similar to design. And then the weapon wrap for this combo is this one right here, which is a red weapon wrap, which is blasted. Introduced in Chapter 2, Season 2's Battle Pass, part of the short fuse set. As I mentioned, using it mainly for the red, and this is TNT's weapon wrap from that season. Let's move on to combo number 4 now. For this one, I thought I'd change up the edit style, and I'm using the rough cut Montague. You can also use the Montague standard edit style, which is totally up to you. Super level once again, Glasswork Montague. Backbling for this combo is the prize Llama, which is a survivor medal backbling you can get. It was introduced first in Chapter 4, Season 4. And the edit style I'm using is the legendary for the orange. But you can also use the rare for the blue, the exotic for blue as well. And if you do want to use the uncommon for green, but I like to use the orange, or for this combo, I decided to use the orange. Pickaxe is the scratch mark shredder, part of the Storm Scavenger Links set, introduced in Chapter 4 in OG, Season 4 in OG. The edit style I'm using is the scratch mark shredder, mainly for the red and the blue, I guess. You can also use the Dark Storm, which basically cycles through the colours, but I decided to stick with the standard, so I could have the red and blue mainly. The weapon wrap for this combo is this one right here, which is the Open Fire, which was introduced in Chapter 3, Season 2, and you got this for getting challenges done in that season. You had like a limited time challenge you had to do, you got this and also a pickaxe. This one works nicely because it's got yellow, it's got red, and got a little bit of white. White doesn't really work nicely, but it's all the different colour schemes. Works nicely with this combo, and just as Glasswork edit style, super level edit style in general. Let's move on to the next skin, which is Oscar now. And for Oscar, I've decided to use the standard style, which is Oscar. Super level is Glasswork. Backbling is the Infinity Gauntlet, part of the Mad Titan set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 7, and this is Thanos' backbling. Works nicely because the actual gauntlet itself is golden, as you see the different Infinity Stones as well. Go very nicely with the colour scheme of the actual Glasswork, and I find this one works very nice on the Oscar skin because it doesn't look too bulky on him, so he's quite a big skin, whilst if you use like the smaller skins, sometimes this backbling does look a bit bulky. Pickaxe is the Staff of Control, part of the Gref G set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 5, using this mainly for the red and the yellowy gold theme. Works very nicely, and this is Gref G's pickaxe. And the weapon wrap I'm using for this combo is this one right here, which is Magma, which was introduced in Chapter 1, Season 8, and is an item shop weapon wrap, using it for the orange and the black menu to go with the colour of this, of these stripes, black and the orange, or the orange and the black I should say. Let's move on to the next combo, the second combo for Oscar. For this one, I decided to stick with the standard edit style once again. I tried to make combos for Champion Oscar and also the Shock Brawler. I couldn't really get anything to work, so that's why I stuck with standard Oscar. Backbling is the Crewmate, which is part of the Among Us set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 3. A very nice Gaming Legends series backbling. For this one, you have a few options you can use. You can use red, like I have. You can also use orange. You can even get away with using green, or even the yellow. It's totally up to you which one you want to use. I guess you could also get black to go with the black with stripes, but it's totally up to you. But I decided to stick with the red. And also, if you don't want to use this, you can also use the Pac-Man, and you can use the yellow, the red, or the orange as well. I guess even the blue would work nicely, but I decided to stick with the Crewmate. Backbling with the red. Pickaxe for this combo is this one here, which is a Molten Max Axe, part of the Rock Rangers set, introduced in Chapter 4, Season 3. I'm using the standard edit style, which is the Molten Max Axe, mainly for the orange and the black, to be fair. Let's move on to the next combo now, or the rep wrap for this combo I should say, which is this one here, which is Molten Angular Shift, which is a Lava series weapon wrap, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. Men use it for the orange, but the black does work nicely as well. Let's move on to the next skin now, which is Nisha now. The actual design or the style I use for Nisha is just I'm using a Midnight Duelist Nisha. The mask I'm using is Maskless. If you do want to use a mask, obviously feel free. Super level is Glasswork. Backbling is the Resistance, part of the new trilogy set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. Star Wars series backbling, using it for the orange theme. Well, I keep doing that. Pickaxe is the Phantasmic Pulse, which is part of the Bounders set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 4. And I'm using the Valiant Fire edit style with the primary colour orange and the secondary colour red. As you see here, it gives it a nice orange and red design. Also, if you have the Valiant Fire, it gives it a little bit of black as well. The weapon wrap for this combo is this one right here, which is the Freshly Forged, part of the Renegade Flame set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 4, using it for the orange and black theme, and this is Blaze's weapon wrap. Let's move on to the next combo, the second combo for the Nisha skin. For this one, I thought I'd use the number 1, and which was one of the first ever competitive or FNCS backblings we got, or you could earn from watching Twitch I think it may have been either YouTube or Twitch, but either way, if you have this back bling, the colour I'm using is orange. And obviously I've been using a lot of orange back blings. I couldn't really find any other colours other than orange and red. I find orange and red are the best colours for this Glasswork edit style. To be fair, pickaxe is a 928 axes, which is part of the Across the Spider-Verse set, introduced in Chapter 4, Season 2. Using it for the red theme, and this is Spider-Man 2099's pickaxes. Weapon wrap for this combo is this one right here, which is another Lava Series weapon wrap, which is a fiery flow, part of the Volcanic Assassin set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 2. Mainly using it for the orange and black, but I guess it is a little bit of red at the back of the weapon wrap as well. Let's move on to the final skin now, which is Valeria. For the first combo for Valeria, I'm using the style Valeria, Colour Society Scarlet. Glasses off, and obviously then the super level style is the Glasswork Valeria. Backbling is Oni's Curse, part of the Cypher PK set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 4. Using this, obviously there's, with the Valeria skin, she has like fiery flames, obviously on her feet, and obviously coming off her as well, which is pretty cool. I'm going to use the Oni's Curse backbling with the reactivity off. He also has flames coming off the actual Oni mask itself, which is pretty cool. The pickaxe is the Foundation's Plasma Spike, part of the 7 set, introduced in Chapter 3, Season 1's Battle Pass, and the 7 was the secret skin from Chapter 3, Season 1. The style I'm using is the Foundation Plasma Pix, and then the colour is Foundation Plasma Spike, just for the spike for the fully red. But you can also use the flame if you do want the black, but for this I decided to keep it off. And many using this for the flames, obviously the flames coming off of Valeria, and also the flame from the Oni's Curse. Backbling, weapon wrap for this combo is this one right here, which is Valeria's, which is the Burn, part of the Flame and Fortune set, introduced in Chapter 5, Season 1. You can either use the Burn or the Flame. I don't think it really matters with Valeria, because obviously since you can use an emote in-game and pretty much change from our 2 styles, from obviously the white style to the black style, so obviously use whichever one you like, but I decided to use this one, which would be, I guess, the black and red one, but either way, just using it for the flame theme. Let's move on to the final combo now, and for this one, I thought I'd switch up the edit style, or the colour I guess I should say. I'm using the Burning Ambition Valeria style, with the colour the Stygian Green Valeria. Glasses is off once again, and the Glasswork Valeria is the edit style, as you can see here, gives a nice green flame. She has blonde hair as well. Makes the edit style look pretty cool in my opinion. Backbling is the Doom Chalice, which is a Marvel series backbling, part of the Doctor Doom set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 4's Battle Pass, and this is Doctor Doom's backbling from that season. Gives it a nice, obviously, since the actual green flame and the actual chalice, there's like green smoke coming out of it. It's a pretty cool design in my opinion. Works very nicely for the green, and also the gold goes nicely with Valeria's blonde hair. Pickaxe is a Demon Slayer blade, part of the Hagiri set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 8's Battle Pass, and I'm using the second edit style, which is Demon Fire blade, for the green fire, to go with the fire on the actual skin itself, obviously coming off her like legs or the bottom of the actual gown, I guess you could say she's wearing, also her hair as well with the flame. And the final weapon wrap is this one right here, which is Doctor Doom's weapon wrap, which is Arcane Steel, part of the Doctor Doom set, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 4. This is a nice reactive weapon wrap. Basically throughout the game it gets more like fiery, so it basically does go like a lot of green flame later on throughout the game, which is pretty cool. So that is all the Glasswork Superstyle combos done. Thank you very much, Randy Markham, once again for the video suggestion. Sorry it took me a little bit longer to get this edit style done. I had it unlocked for a while. I was just trying to figure out how exactly to get the combos done. But thank you once again. But if there is any other video suggestions you'd like to see, could be skin, backbling, pickaxe, glider / umbrella, contrail or web wrap, or anything other Fortnite related, always feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I'm always down to give something a go. But anyways, that was pretty decent.